Hey, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of the PHNX Rising podcast. Thank you so much for joining us here. My name is Ramon Chavez, and as always, my partner Owen Evans in the house. How you doing, sir?
I'm good. It's a Friday. It's different.
Friday night.
We're not normally in here on a Friday. It's
Yeah.
Friday night with the boys.
Let's go. And of course, as always, we have the return of Edwin, El Jefe, the dead man. Perez, how are you, sir?
Deadwin!
Listen, I made my gracious return back in the post-game show, so as you guys can tell,
Nice
I'm
hat.
not dead. Thank you. Got the hat. Still don't have my PHNX Rising shirt, but we'll take the hat.
We're starting from the top and working our way down.
Deadwin lives!
I'm alive. I'm
Hashtag
alive,
Deadwin.
boys. Here to talk some good footy with you, boys.
You were trending in the zip code of where we're at, so little heads up.
We love to see that.
Edwin!
We love to see it.
Deadwin, still coming for you, Edwin, says Sean.
No.
Jaffer Peacemaker.
I'm sorry, Sean. Listen, I recognize you're better, all right? Just let me live.
Oh, my God. If you haven't yet, make sure to like, share, and subscribe if you're watching us right now. If you're hearing us on any of the streaming platforms, make sure to rate us a 5-star. And again, like and share us wherever you're listening to. It really helps us grow here at PHNX and as well as the Rising podcast, so make sure to do it if you can. Sean just peeked his head in here. We have a great show, a lot to talk about. Big week here for Rising. It's, of course, they had the game on Wednesday against Valley United. Today we have the draw. Tomorrow there's a game against Galaxy. A lot of stuff to talk about, so we'll be talking about that. And also we're going to be looking ahead at the other USL games happening this weekend. And before we leave today, we're going to finally give away that signed Rising jersey.
It's here. It's here. And we're going to do the draw, which isn't really a draw, but arguably the most exciting draw that you've watched tonight or today. Because that draw this morning was weird.
Yeah, we're gonna put the video in one quick second, but before we get started with that, I do want to tell you guys about our new partner that PHNX partner with, which is OG's. So we are excited to welcome OG's brands into the PHNX family. OG's is one of Arizona's first original scratch-made cannabis kitchens and is dedicated to creating innovative and memorable cannabis-infused products that flavor life's journeys. The quality of their products stem from the combination of accurate dosing and an amazing flavor. Edibles are not a one-size-fits-all product, which is why OG's is proud to offer a wide range of products for all demographics and preference. Their motto is flavoring life, and that's something we can all get behind. So shout out to OG's. I liked on Saturday that everybody just started putting like weed on the
It's
chat.
Wednesday. You're losing track of this. It's a weird
sorry,
one.
man.
This is such a weird week. This is Wednesday.
I've already had some, so I'm just kidding. No, but yeah. Shout out to OG's. Happy to have them as part of the PHNX family. So if you guys haven't yet, make sure to get some of that.
Yeah, it turns out OG's isn't just something you say after you watch another mediocre Rising first half.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
As well as the draw. So let's go ahead and take a look at that draw.
Yeah, so we had the draw for the third round of the Open Cup today.
There we go.
So the Mountain Division, the Mountain Group, this is what Rising were put in. They could have been in Southern California. They ultimately did a pre-draw kind of between Tucson and Rising to decide who'd go where. For those of you watching along with us, you can see it's a really thrilling experience. They opened up envelopes, and there's the
they need to chill
first
out.
one. That's Phoenix Rising drawn at home. Only Rising and Real Salt Lake in this region chose to host, so it had to be those two at home. Rising could never have drawn Real Salt Lake. They ended up drawing New Mexico United. The other option was Northern Colorado Hailstorm. So Rising against New Mexico United. Speaking of OGs, that game's taking place on 420. So shout out to the Open Cups. Dedication to our new sponsorship deals.
Nice. Yeah. Thank you, US Open Cup, for that. You should have seen Owen and our director over here for the ads. That they were like literally screaming across the office when that happened. So great stuff with OGs. But let's see some reactions from fans to this draw. New Mexico United again will be coming into town to face Phoenix Rising. So we had a few people here on Twitter. Owen, what's going on here? Let's go revenge time, baby.
Yep, that's the first one. What do you think about the second one there?
Boring as shit.
You can just say it. Come on, like you can say it.
I feel weird like cussing, but then I watched like the Suns one and saw it was like never mind. I'm not gonna talk about it. But can you please tell Rick this time that it's a must-win game for me? I like it.
Well, it is look. It's obviously the second time in a row, and that's where the "oops, they did it again" comes from, right? In the title of the very witty title we had today. But it's the second time in a row in the Open Cup that Rising's come up against New Mexico United. last time. It was way back in 2019.
Way back.
Indeed. And they met them in the second round then, the first game that they were both playing. I think it was the only USL Championship against USL Championship match at that time. It is again this time in the third round, the only USL Championship against USL Championship matchup, I believe.
Just our luck. Yep.
Yeah. And it's not the best, is it? You don't really. The thing that's fun about these cups is that you want to play new people. You want to do something different. You know, that's the joy in this. It's not playing a team that you play every year, and it just gets boring. Now,
And
it could have been worse.
Yeah.
It could have been worse. It could have been someone like an LA. Oh, well. You never know with LA Galaxy. They might have put the 2 kids out anyway. But, like, it's not like drawing a San Diego, let's say, who you've played, like, 3 times in 2020, 4 times last year, and you're just like, I'm bored of you now.
Yeah.
I don't want to play you again. But at the same time, it's a tough one, right? New Mexico.
So you're saying you wish they would have gone drawn to the California.
Maybe.
Pot.
I mean, look, and if we're talking about the California pot, imagine if you just swapped Rising with FC Tucson, you'd have had a home game against California United Strikers of NISA.
Mm-hmm.
So
a little bit better.
I mean, you'd have preferred that, surely.
Yeah.
You'd have preferred that draw rather than New Mexico because A, it's different, and B, you feel like it's more winnable.
Yeah.
Look, Northern Colorado Hailstorm would have been a good one to have. Besides that,
You're saying that there was no chance for them to draw Real Salt Lake?
No. So, Northern Colorado, their stadium isn't yet ready. New Mexico didn't apply to host, probably because their stadium is a minor league baseball stadium.
Mm-hmm.
You can't play Open Cup games in there. And last time they played over in the college stadium. Yeah, but they didn't apply to host. So what you had then is you had these 4 teams in this region, 2 of whom applied to host, 2 of whom did not apply to host. And the 2 who applied to host for Phoenix Rising and Real Salt Lake. Well, you need 2 teams to host, so they can't meet. They've both got to host.
So they're pretty much already drawn.
It was New Mexico or Northern Colorado all along.
Yeah.
Disappointing. Especially because it comes less than a week after they last play New Mexico at home.
I kind of like it though. I like the fact that they're gonna be tested because they need to be tested. You know what I'm saying?
But why do you? Yeah, okay. That maybe for the caliber of the opponent, and New Mexico have started the season pretty well, right? To be fair. But do you really want to play the same people 2 times in a row at home?
And I understand the appeal of the cup is to play different teams from different parts of the country, and I understand
and
that.
The other thing is, if you talk about attendances, right? How do you sell to people, oh, come out, watch New Mexico on a Wednesday? You could have watched them on a Saturday, but come watch them on a Wednesday as well. Like, it's...
I mean, no one showed up to the Wednesday one either, so it's...
No, it's hard enough to sell tickets for Open Cup games as it is.
Yeah.
And then you have something like New Mexico again. And not like New Mexico at any other time of the year maybe could be an all right seller because it's a rivalry, right?
Mm-hmm.
People don't like New Mexico whatsoever. Which actually is the thing that almost makes it harder as well because rivalry games are hard to win.
Yeah.
Rivalry games are tough to win. And now you're going to try and win 2 in a week against the same opponent, you know? Edwin, what do you think about the draw?
Disappointed. Disappointed in the fact that I wanted to see an MLS club, but obviously, as you said, it was just clearly not possible given the circumstances. So, I for me, someone in the U.S. Open Cup, it's good in the sense that I think that they can beat New Mexico United. Obviously, it's not going to be easy. I'm not saying that because it's a rivalry game, but you're going to be. I think I like the chances to be able to move on from it, but I'm bored in the sense it's not someone new. You know, I think the U.S. Open Cup is about playing different styles, playing different teams, learning that. I think that's what makes it exciting, rather than facing someone you know so often, and having to do that and repeat it within the same week too. I think that also just adds to it being like boring and null. So it's going to be hard to.
I get it. I understand the appeal, like you guys are saying, and why people tune into these games. But at the end of the day, Rising's about winning. They got to win the games. They can only play whoever's in front of them. And I agree with Alex, and I'm okay with being the thought of beating New Mexico twice. So
yeah, but look, hang on a minute. Before we even get into this, let's not get cocky now, right? Rising has won 2 games and lost 2 games in the league this season. They took 115 minutes. We're about to get onto this now. Let's get onto this now. Talking about the performance on Wednesday. They took 115 minutes to get a goal against Valley United, a NISA team, and there are a lot of question marks over whether that goal should have stood. Okay, so this is what I'm saying, you know. I'm not thoroughly convinced they're going to beat New Mexico twice. It's a winnable game. It's a winnable game, as Edwin said. I wouldn't rule that out.
Yeah.
But again, this is a team that not only has struggled this season, but has, quite frankly, a pretty bad record in knockout games. It is 9 in a row now that they haven't won a knockout game in 90 minutes.
Yep.
9 in a row.
And
stretching back to 2018.
So let me ask you this: you're definitely worried about losing in the U.S. Open Cup? But here's the thing: Rising need to step up already. It's already a few games into the season. There's no excuses anymore, especially after that Valley United game. I know a lot of people were not happy with that. We saw it on social media today with Rising replying to someone that tweeted at them, and it's the fan base is frustrating. I'm sure people in the organization are frustrated. So to me, this is fine. This is a test at the beginning of the season. If they don't pass this test, then a lot of questions need to be asked. So
I think you're
that's
right.
Why I like it.
That's the thing we have to remember here, right? Is that Rising have come into this season not looking the best. If they can't get results in 2 games against New Mexico in the space of a short period of time, having had a bad start to the season, they're going to have to be, the organization is going to have to start asking some serious questions about itself and where things are going wrong. Because the problem is that we're seeing the exact same questions come up time and time again, right? The same problems in these early games is coming up time and time again. San Antonio accepted to a degree.
Yeah.
And right, let's go on. Let's talk about Wednesday night. I think we've got
go for it.
The club's take at least is here, and it was Mike Pendleton, someone from Tampa Bay, who I met back at the final. Good guy. The only debate I'd have is if you look like shit, then you need to fix looking like shit. Otherwise, you will look like shit in the future and might not get the result you want or should be getting. He also adds, I fell asleep in your game, so I honestly don't know how you all looked. To which the club decided to reply like shit.
To be fair, Mike is on the East Coast, so over there it was like
that's a late game.
1 a.m.
I thought you were about to say, to be fair, they did. I mean,
no, but yeah, they did. It wasn't a good performance. I think all of us there in the press box were all looking at each other like, "What the heck is going on?"
That first half was poor. I think we all kind of jumped with San Antonio game and said, you know what, good, right? What had been going wrong for a while felt like it was going right again, okay? They were all over San Antonio, great. Valley United comes along, and you just see an almost lack of real chances. There was a lot of failure to beat the first man on crosses. There was a lot of, just passing it round the edge of the box and waiting for an opening to appear that wasn't appearing. Because at the end of the day, Valley United came to sit back, right? And they had a very good structured defense. And a lot of people now will point to the stats and they'll say, well, look, we had all these shots. They had nothing. Da, da, da. That doesn't mean anything to me because when you're playing a team like Valley United, who is a NISA team, right? Look, is it unfair, the fact that some people are effectively calling them a glorified men's league team? Yeah, that's probably a bit unfair. But, if you can't create chances against them, you really struggle there because, look, they weren't even trying to counterattack very much, were they? Not in the same way as... and that's the thing, when they weren't doing it very well, but that's because they're a NISA team, right?
Yeah.
There's a low bar there. If you're playing like that against a USL team, you're going to struggle more because this is a team that can not only then sit back, they know how to counter. They're a higher standard.
Yeah.
They're going to cause more problems. When you're playing a team from NISA, they might be able to sit back and absorb it, but are they going to necessarily have the ability to go and counter? They didn't look like they did, really, did they?
Yeah, no, I think the only chances they really did have was towards the end of the game, the 90 minutes, I mean, and they had maybe a few shots on Lalo's goal, and that could have maybe gone in, but and like you're talking about, the quality of the opponents are just going to get better. This isn't going to be a NISA team. It's going to be a USL team. So it's going to be tough. It's I think Michael has a good point. The issue has been the forwards all year. Is it the forwards really? Is it the midfield? Like, because the San Antonio game, yes, they got the win, but I think there were still some questions lingering. They come out Wednesday. I'm thinking they're going to keep that momentum going.
It's a lot of things. There's a lot of things not quite going right.
Yeah.
And it starts, I think you're right, it starts with the forwards, and it starts with perhaps some of the creation coming out with the midfield as well. But then it's exacerbated by problems whereby there is a lack of depth at the back. That lack of depth means that none of them are especially quick, but, you've got people who aren't necessarily the quickest. It's interesting. And I mean, to Alex's point here about they play poorly against easy team and get fired up against good teams, San Diego Loyal's not an easy team. They're a good team.
Yeah.
You know, and not only that, but we were kind of talking about how, you know, you had the you know, that week before they played poorly against Vegas Lights, and then everyone's like, okay, we're fired up, we're gonna get it, we know what we're doing, all of that stuff, and they came out and couldn't do it, and that was against a team that's expected to be a playoff team, probably. Especially they've started the season all right, haven't they? I mean, look, it's hard, but then, you know, and it's that problem where you don't have a great deal of depth at the back. The centre backs aren't necessarily the quickest; they're not necessarily the most mobile. Something perhaps that you saw a bit better with Kev when Kev came in. He had to be rested though, really, on Wednesday. You know, he's been taking a little bit of a beating. You can't.
Yeah.
You don't want to run a guy into the ground.
I mean, tell that to Joe Farrell because he played 120 minutes. I'm
yeah,
pretty
but
sure he's going to start again on Saturday. So.
But what options does he have?
No options. That's
you
the
know,
thing, yeah.
I mean that's the problem, right? Where are the centre backs? James Moose is out injured.
Mm-hmm.
You got Joe Farrell at the moment and Manu Madrid.
This has been a problem since the preseason. Why hasn't this been addressed if we continue to talk about it?
Great question. I'm leaving it at that. It's a great question. I think it's something that we all kind of knew. You know, we were all poking about this in preseason, weren't we? Because especially when Manu went down injured, you know, we're talking about, well, where's the backup? I think there's a portion of, you know, we were talking about this anyway, where it might be harder this year getting loan signings in from MLS because of Next Pro and all that kind of stuff going on. Unless you're going to guarantee people game time, it's a little bit problematic. And no defensive assistance, what Michael says. It's an interesting point. Obviously, Rising has had people who are perhaps more defensive minded in the past in the backroom staff. I don't know how much to weigh on that. I really don't know. But again, you only got the 3 centre backs, and I know you'll hear stuff about how, you know, it can be a luxury to have 4 centre backs and all kind of stuff like that.
Yeah.
But you know, if we're going to talk about something that's needed, a 4th centre back is needed. One thing that I did notice is that yet again on Wednesday, Jonathan Levin wasn't in the squad.
Yeah. He was at the stadium. We saw him there.
Yeah, he's at the stadium. But the question then comes, well, where is Jonah? Well, what is Jonah doing?
Mm-hmm.
If Jonah's not going to get picked ever to play, why did the club sign him? I mean, it's a question,
you
right?
have Lambert there, not sitting on the bench the entire time. You could have had you know, Jonathan there.
Yeah, because he could have made the 6th sub in extra time. That was on the table. And the other thing there is that, you know, when we look back at it, I know we spoke about this on the weekend, is that putting Carlos in there, you know, for a more physical game against a lower division team. Now, don't get me wrong. Could Carlos maybe do a job against New Mexico? Maybe, right? Because you're playing against people who are a bit more skillful, a bit more. They're not going to come here just to play a simply physical game and nothing else, right? Yeah. Which is kind of where teams like Valley United would look to come. You know, it's a lower league team. It's what you expect. Whereas someone like Jonah might have been better suited to that, to be perfectly honest, because he has got that. Yeah, exactly. And yet he's sitting there in the stands.
And that's the question that I have, because Anguiano, we've made it a point to point out that he's a little bit smaller as far as his frame. To me, it didn't look like he knew what his role was in that midfield. You know, I think he was there with Rodriguez and Quinn, and I think he was just,
it was a weird midfield because, right, let's be clear here. Carlos isn't really a 6, is he? Or he's not Kev Lambert, at least, right? He's not Kev Lambert.
That's the question. So if you have Quinn kind of staying back in that CDM role, and then you have Anguiano pushing forward, I don't think he has that creative.
Who was the Kev?
I think they were you know.
I don't know. It didn't.
So, and that's what I mean. So if you're looking for creativity, then you put Rodriguez, Seijas, and Quinn. If you're not going to play Lambert, if Lambert's not playing, then you have Quinn and Rodriguez. But then that puts a lot of pressure on Rodriguez to create if Quinn's not on his game that day. So I think that's the issue with the midfield that I've seen. When you put Anguiano in, I think maybe you have a lead, you control the ball, you pass it around. That's how I envision him playing. But if you're looking for that goal, I don't think Carlos is the guy.
He's a good distributor of the ball, right? We know that. He knows how to pass. He knows how to create chances. But there's a difference between that and someone who's going to come up and show up against a lower league team in a cup game.
Yeah. A lot of questions for sure.
Speaking of questions.
Yes.
Do we need to question the goal?
Let's do it.
You know what? We've been talking about was it offside or not. You know what? We've got the law up here, but I'm just going to talk through for those of you who didn't know any of that, right? So the ball is headed by Darnell. It comes off of a defender. And it comes over to Claudio, who was, at the time the ball is headed by Darnell, he very much appears to be, and we're judging this based on the fact he's the only player in the goal area, right, inside that 6-yard line.
Yep.
He looks like he's in an offside position. Now, some people are questioning, it comes off a defender, does that matter? The answer is maybe. And this is what the law says. This is straight from Law 11, the IFAB laws of the game. A player is in an offside position receiving the ball from an opponent who... a player in an offside position receiving the ball from an opponent who deliberately plays the ball, including by deliberate handball, is not considered to have gained an advantage unless it was a deliberate save by an opponent. Was the play deliberate? Because to me, it wasn't at the time.
Mm-hmm.
That's the key thing here. We're talking about a deliberate play, and that's the line we're drawing here. It's not about a deflection. If it deflects, that's not enough. It's got to be a deliberate play.
Mm-hmm.
There's some stuff on there as well if you're watching about what a save is. I know people are talking about what a save is on Twitter. I don't think it necessarily meets the definition of a save, but again, the question is just, was it a deliberate play? And it doesn't necessarily have to be that he deliberately intended it to go in Claudio's direction. He had to be deliberately playing the ball when he did.
Yeah.
I don't think he does. I think he's way too close. I don't see substantial movement towards the ball necessarily.
Yeah.
You know, it's more the movement towards the ball is almost when the cross is coming in. I don't quite see it when the crosses are, once the header comes from Darnell.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see that movement to get in the way of the ball.
Yeah. Yeah. And
he's lucky. He's very lucky there because a lot of times that would be called probably.
It was a bit of a scramble. So I think the linesman was a little bit, obstructed and couldn't really see it either. And, with the speed that the play happened, you can't make that call unless you're 100% sure as well.
Yeah, and that's where you get into communication between the officials, right?
Yeah.
So normally what happens is the assistant's going to know for a starter that ball has been headed. They know roughly the point where it's headed.
Mm-hmm.
You know that it comes to someone in an offside position. You may think you see a touch in there. The determination on whether it's a deliberate play or not is often coming from the referee in the middle. So they're going to confer often and then come to the decision. That's why you often see... I'll give you a little hint now. This is something just for people who want to know what to watch for when a ball hits the back of the net, when you should feel confident that it's going to count. When the ball hits the back of the net, it's a goal. The signal from an assistant referee for a goal is they're going to look to the referee, make eye contact, and then they're going to sprint back up the touchline. Okay? And so what you often see from officials as a way of subtly saying, I don't think that, or I've got a question, is the assistant's going to stay in the corner. And then you're going to see the referee come over and have a conversation. Now, would it have been a bit of a gutter? Because I'm sure the celebration happens. If that goal gets disallowed, it's probably because they've had a conversation and decided to disallow it. Yeah. It's not, the celebration's happened at that point. Yes. Would it have probably been the right decision to disallow it? Probably yes.
Yeah.
I'm not convinced it was a good goal, I'll be honest.
Yeah. No, from the replay, I thought Repetto was at least half his body was offside.
Oh, he was well offside.
Yeah, so...
the offside position bit, to me, is the one bit that's not in any doubt whatsoever.
Yeah.
And I'm leaning probably about 80-20 towards the fact that it was a deflection and not a deliberate play.
Yeah. No, definitely Rising were able to... got some luck on their side against Valley United, because if it would have gone to penalties, I think all of us were kind of... a little bit nervous at that point if it went to penalties again in the U.S. Open Cup game. Don't you referee
penalties on a Wednesday night? Please, no. I don't. We wanted to go home. I think that was the thing. The overriding just message from all of us was, "Oh no, we want to go home. It's a Wednesday night." And I feel like that's the way for fans as well. I was chatting to one of the fans was down at the front, and his kid was like one of the ball boys, right? It was his kid's 10th birthday. And you think, I'm sure this kid is going to love being here until 11 o'clock on a Wednesday night.
This sure is a long game.
Could be a long shootout as well. Those can take a while.
Yeah. Yeah, no. Definitely got some luck on Rising side with that Repetto goal. And I think we can all just put this game behind us and move on to New Mexico, because that was a long 120 minutes for sure. Owen, there is another game this week that we got to talk about, because tomorrow... LA Galaxy 2 is coming into town at Wild Horse Pass. So Galaxy, we'll talk a little bit about them. Not the best USL championship team ever. They've from what
That's a bit harsh,
right.
Or correct, however you want to look at it. But
Their best performance from what I see lately is 2016. But other than that, finished towards the bottom of the Western Conference each year.
They made the playoffs in 2020, didn't they? I think
Yeah,
they lost in the first round to Reno, didn't they?
yeah. So
We need to ask Max about that.
if
Max
we're gonna
would
talk
know.
about like an
Yeah.
actual season, not COVID, pandemic related, then I'll say 2016. But yes, 2020
You're discounting it. It's like all the people that's
doesn't count for me.
Yeah, it doesn't count.
Yeah, but for example, last year, just not really good at all. So is this like, do you feel like, and I think Alex made that point earlier, where Rising plays poorly against easy team, quote unquote. Do you think they'll think this is a game, the players at least, where they can kind of cruise by? I mean, Galaxy hasn't had the worst start, and they did tie against Indy 11, beat Toros, lost to San Antonio, and lost to San Diego in their opening game. So not too bad, I guess. But what do you think?
Not great though. I mean, the San Diego one was unfortunate. Let's be clear there. That was a very unfortunate result. I believe it was. I'm just gonna click on it now because I've got it here. It was a 90+7 winner. That's hard. That's hard to take, right? Yeah. You've equalized there you give up a goal in the 78th, equalize in the 84th. You think, great, we're coming away with a point, and then you give up 190+7. That's hard.
Yeah.
And it's hard to really judge you for it as well, because by that point you've almost done enough. You're so close to have done enough. The RGV result, you can take it for what it is RGV.
That RGV game compared to the ND11 game, it seemed similar, where they were able to get a goal. They were trying to hold on strong against RGV. They did get the win, but against Indy 11, their keeper ended up making a mistake and gave Indy 11 a chance to tie it. So,
and can we talk about that San Antonio game was chaos. Like, there were 2 red cards. LA Galaxy 2 actually had 22 shots to San Antonio's 10. And 60% of the possession to San Antonio's 40.
Yeah.
It's not as though they were outplayed necessarily that night. They had more shots on target than San Antonio.
Yeah, I think
it was
David
just a
Luera,
weird set of circumstances.
Yeah.
David Luera got the opening goal,
yeah.
Carlos Harvey then equalized in the first half. Mitchell Tainter with the winning goal, 53rd minute. But
so what can we expect? They're coming into town. I think they're coming in good spirits. They have a lot of rest compared to Rising. So is that going to factor into Saturday?
Let's just slap Rick's thoughts on this from Tuesday.
Take a look.
Well, I mean, Preston Judd is a dynamite player. We really like him. Big, powerful, fast. Their wings are very technical, very fast. Remy Cabral's playing with them. I think Liam Doyle's added another element of experience. Their passing from the center back has improved quite a bit. They play very similar 4-4-2 to San Diego with a rotation. They look to outnumber you in the middle, I think, at times, and try to find gaps on either side of your number 6. So it's going to be a very, very good test for us. It's a game that tactically we'll have to be smart, and we have to be aware that they're not going to come in here with any fear. And I think now people probably think there's a chink in the armor, and they're going to come after us. And I think the guys realize that now. So they're a good team. They're a very good side and very organized. I think Greg Vanny at the first team has done an amazing job with that organization, and I wish him continued success. He's a good friend and a great coach.
And do you think it's an advantage for them that they're going to be coming in on more than a week's rest?
Sometimes it is. I think you maybe you lose a little bit of rhythm, but they're going to get to watch us play on Wednesday night. They're going to get to get in here and get used to maybe a little bit. It's not too hot yet, but I'm sure that they'll be excited to play here. And it's going to be difficult. I don't know if I'd say it's an advantage, but yeah, it's going to be tough for us with 3 games in a week.
Fast centre forward, fast wingers.
That sounds like a
great recipe right there. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of where things have gone wrong for Rising, isn't it? Really. So we'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see. I mean, it's that problem whereby, look, do we feel like I feel like we're being really negative, and some of that is justified, and some of it may be harsh, but it's
somber. We've been
somber,
called,
even some people would say. Yeah, this is really not turning out to be the Friday night party we're all expecting. We could have
after the show.
Maybe we should have got some of those OGs in, and then it would have been.
Oh,
more
and
of
it's
a...
justified.
Oh, jeez.
Look, but here's the thing, it's not necessarily they're going to play poorly, because the one thing we know about Rising is that their whole thing relies on the fact that they don't care you're going to come in and defend, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're still going to poke through your block and get a goal early doors normally, and yet they're not. And so then you're getting into a position where you got chasing the game because the other team are going on a counter. They got pacey people. They've scored a goal. You're chasing the game. The other team is sitting back.
Yeah.
Now they can just sit back. They don't even have to care anymore. You're winning.
Mm-hmm.
You're winning in Phoenix. Why take more risks? Because if you're winning in Phoenix, you probably came in saying, draw would be a good result.
Yeah.
But now you're winning. You've got to concede 2 to be a problem. Look, I think that LA Galaxy 2 are a very beatable team. Very beatable team. And we've seen Rising beat them many times over the years, accepting that
Except
really,
last year, yeah.
that one
That
really bad game.
3-0,
Oh,
yeah.
that was a bad game. I'm still trying to bleach that one from memory. I was there, unfortunately, with Jake, who joined us on the weekend. Yeah,
Yeah, shout out to Jake. We
yeah,
saw-
he wore his tie, which he didn't wear a tie that day, so I think we can blame
that
it
was
on
the
that.
issue. Yeah.
It was the tie. It was the tie. But I don't know. It's worrying because, again, look, if they can click, if they can find their goals,
Mhm.
great. Everything's gonna be great. And I can see, and a lot of the time, it's the same with like Sacramento against Portland Timbers under 23s today. Last night. I'll get there eventually. I can't even remember it finished 6-0. Okay, great. But it was 6-0 at halftime. It was one of those things where you were just like, much like Rising, if you can find a goal early against these lower league teams,
They're gonna crumble.
they crumble. Yeah,
Yeah.
because they come in and they sit back and defend. Rising's thing is that you have the opponent in the low block, you score a goal, and then you make them try and open up a bit more, and then you find another 3 or 4 goals. Right?
There you go.
Like, that's how they do it, And because they're not, it's
I mean, we saw that against Monterey, but we haven't seen that happen anytime after that. Yeah. No, it's gonna be an interesting matchup. Rick mentioned Preston Judd, 17 goals or 18 if my sources here tell me right. But yeah, a lot of goals regardless in 2021. So he's one to watch. Michael Salazar, he's their left winger captain as well. He did come out injured last game, so I'm not sure if he's gonna be available for this game. So yeah, we're gonna see. But yeah, those quick, fast wingers, they're gonna be an issue. So hopefully Rising's gonna be able to take that.
It's an interesting one, right? Because they are scoring goals this season. That's one thing you can definitely say. They're scoring goals. They're also picking up. I had a look. They picked up 2 red cards so far this season, which in 4 games you think, well, that's a lot.
Yeah, it was like in the first game, right? Like Cabral had one, and then San Antonio one you were speaking about. So
yeah, and I went on and thought, 2, that's a lot. They got to be like top of the league with that. And I looked, no, New York Red Bulls 2 have had 4, which I mean, I don't know how many games have New York Red Bulls 2 played.
it's like 5 at least, no, 4 or 5.
It's
It's like a red card every game, basically.
hang on a minute. How many games have they played? They've played 5. Yeah. So in 5 games, they've had 4 red cards. Good job, boys.
Yeah, great stuff.
Look, I think that it's going to be an interesting game. Really. Now, Santi, let's actually, we can talk about that.
Yeah, let's talk
talk about the Rising side of things. So Santi's ankle, it was a sprain. They were hoping it was only grade 1. We've yet to get a real indication quite.
It looked
as to what
pretty
was.
bad. We're
It looked
literally
pretty bad.
right
He was
next
in a lot
to
of
it.
pain. He went
Yeah.
off, iced it, I believe. He had some issues with swelling.
Mhm.
And look, from experience of doing an ankle sprain, doing football stuff, it can be nasty. That stuff can.
I wouldn't doubt it if he.
I'd expect, even as a precaution, surely you make him miss this weekend, just because. Look, if he sprained that quite badly, is he going to be up for training the next morning?
No.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Sometimes you do that and you try walking and it's just like, oh, this doesn't feel good.
Yeah. Because if I remember the play correctly, it was the Valley United's defender got him with his knee.
I think,
And
but
kinda
then
just
other people are
twisted
also
it.
saying he just kind of twisted it. He landed awkwardly on it and
Yeah.
twisted it. I haven't yet watched that bit back, so
Yeah.
hard to really
'Cause I know the
tell,
Valley
but
United player was screaming that he didn't touch him at all. So you can take
I don't
that as you
know.
will.
I don't know. But look, I think it wouldn't be a daft move to drop him for the game.
Yeah, put Hurst in
Look,
there. He can take care of that.
Don't at the end of the day, don't risk causing something that's going to be a far more serious injury, especially when, look, if If this was Santi on peak form, right, and you were going to say, we need a result, we need Santi on peak form, great.
Yeah.
He's yet to quite hit that peak form. The last thing you want to do is really set his season back by, injuring him even more.
Yeah.
It's... Now, what happens then? So, I mean, we've got Bobby in here now with you sliding Calistri on the left, try a front two until he comes back. I don't know. I think
Hurst
on the left.
Hurst.
See, you're a big fan of Hurst on the left, and I don't mind him there as a stopgap. But I'm not
that's
sure
all it is. Yeah. Don't think I want to convert him into
I
a
worry
left winger,
that that's almost where we've seen him there quite a bit now. If we see him again,
I think it's because Rick wants to play Repetto in the box as well.
Yeah, but that's...
So how do you get both of them in there? I think you slide Hurst to the left, and then the San Antonio game.
Is that in Hurst's best interest? Are you getting the best out of Greg Hurst by putting him on the left?
I don't think so. I like him when he drops down and kind of helps the midfield and transition the ball upwards. That's where I like Hurst.
He's a good player, Greg Hurst, right? Yeah. And it's a hard one because you'd say, well, Claudio scored 2 games in a row now. You've got to leave him out there. And I think we're going to have to see Claudio stay out there. I mean, Edwin's popping up. Edwin, you've got something to add
what
here?
You got to say?
Happy birthday, Greg Hurst.
Happy birthday, Greg Hurst. Yes, we almost
April
forgot.
birthdays, what's up? Let's go.
I just got to give a shout out to that. Also,
I almost forgot.
Yeah,
thanks for reminding us there.
That's why I'm here, just to pop in and remind you of that.
Thank you, Edwin.
I like the Calistri. Off the bench, I'd like to see Richmond. I know you were not the biggest fan of the performance, but I back Richmond off the bench.
But here's the thing: what would you put Richmond? What position? He started as a centre forward, didn't he?
Yeah, I don't think you'd play him with the number 9 role. I think he would serve in that wing role pretty well if given a chance, because I don't think we've seen him over there, and I think he could be an interesting option. I think he has a lot of energy, he's a lot of pace, and he's willing to take on one-on-ones. I think where we're seeing a lot of issue with the wings is these wingers are not taking on these one-on-ones and not winning it, right? It seems like they lose the ball right away, and that's an issue. Yeah. You're not creating balls, so I think you put in Richmond. I think he's willing to take those on and win some of them.
Mm-hmm.
So there's the point then. That means we're probably going to leave Marcus in?
I think so. I mean, how's Babu doing? Is he good?
How's Babu doing? Yeah. Good question.
Because otherwise,
so the update earlier in the week was that he was going to be what was it with him? It was going to be a end of the week. So
we'll probably find out tomorrow.
End of the week, start of next. Yeah, it's probably. I struggle to see necessarily him playing.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you take the risk on him, especially when they can probably leave Ryan out there instead. But with Babu, it's more of a. It was the groin issue, and they said, look, he's a very attack-minded fullback. You've got to bear that in mind when you're thinking about things. Yeah.
So if he's playing, he has to go up and down the entire
and it's what he does, right? And so they didn't want to risk him. They didn't want to bring him out too early because they didn't want to risk exacerbating the issue. Same with that hip kind of issue that James Moose is dealing with. They didn't really want to exacerbate that, risk leaving him out for a lot longer and causing more problems there. But hey, it's for now, I'd imagine Ryan probably stays out there. It's the safer option. Again, it's early in the season.
Yeah,
play it safe. The league games at least aren't must win yet. As frustrated as we're getting at times looking at these games aren't necessarily must win.
Yeah, I think they have enough firepower to make up for those losses. At least for one game.
Don't do something daft now that's going to leave a guy out for 2 months.
True. Yeah.
And I trust that that's what they're doing.
Okay.
From what I see, the way that they're approaching these, I feel like that's the kind of way that these injuries are being treated.
So Lambert was not he was on the bench, but he didn't play against Valley United. I'm sure he'll be back in the starting lineup. So do you see him maybe filling in like that with that San Antonio role against Galaxy?
I wouldn't mind seeing Seijas back out there.
Okay. So if you slide Lambert into that CB role, you put Seijas in there, Quinn, Arturo. Is that what you're thinking?
I could see it.
Okay. Edwin, any thoughts on that one? He doesn't want to deal with this.
We're putting him on the spot. Come on, Deadwin.
It's King, Farrell, let's say Lambert, you put Flood, and then who's your trio in the middle?
Trio in the middle, Arturo. I like Seijas a lot.
I think he's been good when he's played. He's been good. Good call.
I think Seijas would be a great option. My other option would be interesting because without Lambert in that midfield, you can't put Aguiado out there. In my opinion, you'd be suffering a little bit. Trying to think of more reliable options off the bench. Maybe Calistri. I don't know. It's just struggling to me because I think you got to put Lambert in that midfield, and then I mean I would slide back someone like Manu Madrid, because I think Madrid was again, and I said this and I got a little heat, but he was the best attacking option on Wednesday, right? He did the most threatening, which is it's sad, but it's true. So I think you got to reward him with some minutes too. So
Yeah.
But then I suggest you drop Joey then. Because again, as has been said, Joe Farrell's played now, 90 minutes, 120 minutes, Does he need a break? Does he need a rest?
You see, he won't say it, but you don't want to risk it either,
Well, that's Rick's job.
Yeah.
That's like, you're right here. A player's not going to say to you, God, I'm tired. I don't want to play.
I don't think
or
I
if
can play
they do,
today.
that's probably because they've really gone too far, you know?
Yeah.
Like, that's Rick's job to step in there and do that.
I think you need him. Yeah, you need him. He's been there the entire season. You can't. You can switch the other one. So,
but bearing in mind, think about it this way: you got no game in midweek next week.
Mm-hmm.
Then you've got another Saturday, Wednesday. Is it Saturday the after? Yeah, and the Saturday after. Yeah. Someone needs a break in there, and I mean, I know Michael's saying Manu, but again, can Joe play all those minutes? Especially because when games are coming thick and fast now, Musa's not going to be able to play all the time when he comes back, and even then. He might be back next week. He might be back the week after. We don't really know when he's going to be back to full fitness.
So if there was a game to do it, I think it would have to be this one. Because like you're saying, they play against New Mexico United on the 16th, again on the 19th. Do you really want, for example, Musa coming right off an injury playing against New Mexico? If it was to be a game to give Farrell a break, it'd be this one. At least maybe off the bench.
It's a good question. Look, we're going to have to work this out. It's going to be...
Yeah, we wouldn't want to be Rick in this situation. Yeah, for sure.
These are really difficult questions that Rick's going to have to answer tomorrow, really.
Yeah, for sure.
We're going to see the answers to them with the team selection, you would imagine.
For sure. To wrap up this segment against Galaxy, guys, what are the keys to a rising victory?
Score early.
Ball in the back of the net.
Yeah.
Mystery Scandinavian man.
I haven't seen him for a while. Now, we haven't been to training for a while. He hasn't been sitting with the players for a while.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't have any updates for you, Michael.
Edwin, keys to the game for a victory.
Better passing. Passing was questionable on Wednesday. There was a lot of chances that they could have had if the crossing, the link up was better. So I think better passing, just a better performance from the front three. I think we have not seen a good full 90 minutes from this team, right? We've seen 45 from Monterey Bay game and maybe 20 minutes from the San Antonio game. Give me 60 at least. Just
at
just
least
increase,
60, please.
just increase it. Let's get to that point. So I think better passing, better performance from front three, and just give me at least a good 60 minutes where I can feel this is the team that I expect at the start of the year, just so they can show progress. Because I think what the fans want to see is that they're fixing their situation, that they're progressing. They don't need their team to be clicking 100% right now, because you want to do that later in the season, come playoffs and all that. But if you keep progressing, I think that's what's going to be huge. So that's my keys.
Yeah, I have the same thing with the passing. Win the 50-50 balls in the back and get those one-on-ones in the front. Beat your defender and try to be creative.
Yeah, the attack has to be better. I think end of equation. The attack has to be better. And quite how you fix that, I don't know.
Yeah,
but that's why we are the people here talking.
We're over here, not in the.
We're not over on the training pitch.
Yeah, because that'd be rough. 3-0 is what I'm predicting.
Let's
do it. I'm going for it. Let's go, guys. Come on. It's my birthday weekend. I need some goals, man. Let's do this.
In our next bit, I want you putting your money where your mouth is. I want you putting your cash down on a 3-0 win.
Let's do it.
You're going to say something that bold. I'll get you the odds in a minute, but let's.
Yeah, I'm going to do it. Come on, Rising.
Wow.
Give me that money.
Again, this is not to hate on Rising and be so doom and gloom, but when their front three are not performing the way they are, to go 3-0,
nah, we're
bold.
Bold.
Shame on both of you for not believing.
I will go 2-1 1 Rising.
See, Michael gave me 3 at least. You know, not also the 1.
Oh.
Ooh.
Oh, guys. Where do we go?
Oh, no.
Where'd we go?
I think we lost the battery. That's why.
we lost batteries.
Oh, man. We got blackout here in the studio.
See, that's what happens when you guys don't believe.
That's what happens when you guys don't believe. You know, we don't believe for 1 minute. For 1 minute, we don't believe in.
Yeah, Owen was gonna say 1-0. Just
Yeah.
I was actually gonna get the odds and just have a look what they were saying.
While you pull up odds and while we fix this, should we just throw up the Rick clip again?
No,
Give
go
us 2
on.
minutes.
We can get talking. We can
there
keep
we go.
talking.
No, Alex has he says 2-1, and then the lights went out. McBee says he agrees with Edwin. Edwin said enough of you too. It's a podcast. You don't need the lights.
That's right. I'm taking over. I'm on top, people.
Oh wow.
There we go.
After
It's Edwin has just like he disliked the takes enough that he's just shut us off now.
I didn't know he could do that. I should be
I
more
didn't know
nicer
he
to
had that
Edwin.
power. Now it's just a big Edwin.
Yes,
Edwin
this
show.
is what we wanted. And we had a little bit of a Sean DePaz a little
Again,
here.
just a reminder that at least
Edwin and I are coming for your jobs.
Yeah, look at the crew.
Welcome to the new host of PHNX Rising, Edwin and Sean.
This is
And
where
yeah,
it's
and
at.
yeah.
The show just hang on. The show just got
So
like
Sean-
10 times
Sean-
sexier.
Yeah.
Sean, give me a shout now. What is your score prediction? Because I haven't done mine yet.
Who's Deadwin now?
I'm gonna go with the same one I gave last time, 2-1.
Boo.
Yeah, and with 2-1 to who?
The Rising, of
There we
course.
go.
There we go. We're back.
Okay.
And now we're gone
No,
again.
Edwin says it's my time.
Bye,
There
bye.
we go.
There we go.
Hey.
Don't worry about what happened there.
You never know what can happen at PHNX.
It's a
so-
fun time.
We're about as functional as the Las Vegas Lights.
Oh, but they did
Wow.
win,
They're
unfortunately.
actually pretty
Not
good
against
this year.
Tucson. Not against Tucson. They lost to Tucson. Remember, though, everyone, right? It's
Thank you.
PHNX _ rising. Double the underscores, double the fun. See,
Double the fun.
we got to get the Twitter plug in there as
Damn
well.
llama's at it
I
again.
haven't done my score prediction yet. I'm going with. I think 2-1's a good shout. 2-1's a good shout. Let's go with 2-1.
Too
see,
soon, bro.
See, he agreed with me. Sorry to all those people watching the podcast. Watch the camera flick like 4 or 5 times. Don't
No.
you worry about
No,
that.
you wanted the limelight on you. We
Yeah,
know what you're
listen,
about. All right, I think.
Someone needs to keep him away from that, right? let's push on.
All right, y'all. Let's take a quick break after that fun segment. Let's talk about DraftKings. If you guys didn't know, UFC 273 is happening this weekend. It is a stacked card. It's going to be crazy. So you guys want to join the action with DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of UFC. New customers can bet $5 on any fighter and get $100 in free bets, win or lose, guaranteed. So choose your fighter, then sit back and watch the action unfold. Anything can happen in the octagon and PHNX Rising. But with DraftKings Sportsbook, you got a sure thing. Bet $5 and get $100 in free bets. DraftKings is safe, secure, and reliable. Best of all, you can deposit and withdraw your cash whenever you want. So again, make sure to download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use promo code PHNX, throw down $5 on UFC 273, and get $100 in free bets no matter what. That's code PHNX this Saturday at DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of UFC. You do have to be 21 and over to gamble. Arizona only. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. New customers only. Minimum $5 deposit. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details.
I'm not sure I've calmed myself down enough to now get back onto the serious stuff because I'm still just like, what happened? Why did we disappear? Right.
Explain
I
the
took
intro.
You know what?
over. I took over. We finally came. As Michael said, who's Deadwin now? That's right.
Who's
baby.
Deadwin now?
I
Right,
took
but let's
over.
talk some odds, all right? I told you
Let's do
doing
it.
these straight from the DraftKings Sportsbook.
Yep.
You wanted 3-0, right?
Let's do it.
What do you think you're getting on that? Let's give me a guess. Give me a guess. What are we
Odds?
getting? What are you getting on your odds? Phoenix Rising to win 3-0.
Plus 1,500.
No, it's only at 10-1. But
Oh.
hey, 10-1.
Still
That's,
pretty
you
good.
make some money there.
Oh, gotta put some money now.
You're putting some on. I'm expecting the evidence, please.
Oh my god.
And if you win, now that we've pressured you into doing it, you're doing it to buy everyone drinks here.
What the heck? So
For
I
the
gotta put
next
my
show.
money to buy drinks for people. No, that's not the way it works.
You can keep your
Has
steak.
to be the other
you
way.
can keep your steak.
No,
the rest of it
that's
goes
not
on
how it
drink for
works.
us all.
That's not how it works.
We'll
Look,
refi-
Owen's trying to get me high. He's trying to get me to give him money. Like it's just.
Don't make me cut the camera again.
Yeah. Right, but
Too
let's
much,
talk.
too
You know
much,
what? We're
too
moving
much.
on. I know our next segment's around the USL, but let's talk a bit about the odds as well, just
Let's
for
do it.
USL, because it's a Friday, right? The odds are out.
Friday
We
night.
got the odds are out on DraftKings, so let's have a look. One of the games that you can definitely get, I think, a bit of a bit of a good deal on
Let's
at the
do it.
moment. So you got Tulsa Roughnecks against Pittsburgh. Well, not Tulsa Roughnecks. It keeps calling them Tulsa Roughnecks. FC Tulsa against Pittsburgh Riverhounds. You've got plus money on all of the possible outcomes, right?
Just choose
Tulsa
one.
to win,
Yeah.
plus 150. Draw, plus 215. Pittsburgh at plus 165. I think that latter is the one that I'm edging towards. Because Pittsburgh are a good team. They're a good team. And at 165,
Yeah.
I'm feeling that. What else have we got here? Atlanta United 2 against Detroit City.
Detroit.
You thinking Detroit? Well, the odds are the same, no matter whether you want an Atlanta win or a Detroit win.
Whoa.
I think that Atlanta 2 aren't great. They have had their outlook looks better now because they had that one game where they beat up on Charleston.
Mhm.
But Charleston had a player sent off. So the odds in that one is plus 155 for either team to win. So an Atlanta win is plus 155. A Detroit win is plus 155. Draw plus 220. I'm still edging Detroit win. You edging Detroit win on that?
I like Detroit on that one. I think Atlanta just had that one good game.
You want another one that's all plus money?
Let's do it.
Orange County against San Antonio.
Really?
Orange County at plus 165. Draw at plus 220. San Antonio plus 145.
Yeah.
Who are you thinking for that one, boys?
I'm gonna take Orange County. I don't like San Antonio. The way
You're
they
taking
play.
Orange County
Yeah,
at plus
I'm gonna go with those two.
165. Not, they're at home.
Yeah.
It's not a bad shout. Edwin, who are you taking?
I'm back in San Antonio. I am gonna back the boys.
Oh,
I
we know you
think.
love San Antonio.
No, I just.
Well, maybe we'll go with a draw. Maybe we'll
There we
just
go.
go with
See,
a
Michael
draw.
says draw right there.
So
Yeah,
that's
San
the thing.
Antonio.
These
Damn,
guys.
Michael's going with San Antonio. All right.
All right.
Watch.
That's it. These guys are arguing. I'll just
Watch.
go with the draw
I'm gonna
and
drop
take the
some
money.
parlays, get some money for y'all. Because
But
Owen
Phoenix Rising-
doesn't. Because Owen doesn't. So I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna do it. So
So the game we all care about, though, the Phoenix Rising LA Galaxy 2 game, by the
Yep.
way, just to give you the odds here. Phoenix Rising at minus 250. So a pretty decent favorite there.
Yep.
Draws at plus 360. LA Galaxy 2, you can get them at plus 500 for a win.
500.
If you think that Rising are going to be absolute dire performance tomorrow, there's
Yeah.
some money to be made, but only if they actually turn out that way. If they win minus 250,
Yeah.
you
Not
know,
a lot of money on that one.
not a lot of money necessarily.
I'm interested in these other games. So Las Vegas against Colorado in Vegas. Again, Vegas has started out pretty great. Danny Trejo's putting that team in his back. That's
Who are
on
you
Sat-
taking in that game?
I'm gonna take Las Vegas. I don't.
You're taking Las Vegas. Ooh, big one. Plus 280 on Las Vegas in that game.
There you go. Free money.
You want to
You're
take
welcome.
it? You hop in. Hop in. I think
Yeah, Colorado.
Any
They
other
got
games
knocked
you're
out of
interested in?
U.S. Open Cup.
only
right?
on the Saturday, bear in mind. We can ignore the Sunday games. You haven't got odds for them
Saturday,
yet.
El Paso against Monterey. El Paso needs their first win at home. I think they'll take it. Is there one for El Paso?
I
Probably
don't
not.
see them on here. I'm being blind. No, because they're both bad enough that no one even knows anymore. El Paso has lost to Central Valley Fuego. Really just set things up.
They need a win.
Look, earlier this week, I asked Rick about it. He said they're going to click. They're going to click eventually. The coach just has to keep his trust in his players.
And that's what he's telling himself too. So we'll see. I'm just kidding, Rick. I'm just kidding. All right.
You
all
trying to
right,
cause a fight
all
here.
right, all right.
You're trying to cause a fight.
I need these guys to win. All right. I need this win. All right, y'all. So yeah, great games to look forward to. Sunday games. We got Louisville against Loudoun.
Mm-hmm.
That should be pretty fun.
Should be an interesting one. Loudoun, of course, did lose, I believe, didn't they, on the weekend? So they're no longer unbeaten.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm trying to look at the other ones here. Loyal against Charleston might be fun. Yeah.
Charleston did not up to much.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely a good slate of games here. And again, you guys can make your bets on the DraftKings Sportsbook app. So
We need to get down to our final bit of business now.
yeah, we gotta give out a jersey. Thank you so much for sticking around here. I know it's a Friday night.
Friday
but
night,
yeah,
but where else would you have fun? Where else would you have fun like we just
Get
did?
a blackout.
Where we just had an utter blackout, Edwin took over. It's
his ego just right
His
here.
ego's through the
all
roof.
way, yeah,
The
too
show
much.
ratings went through the roof.
He got that
through
hat.
the roof.
He got
the
that
chat
hat.
was
He's-
going
look,
off.
The
Right.
people loved it. The
He
people
switched it
loved
back. How about El Trafico? Ooh, predictions.
Ooh.
Chicha.
Predictions are prediction here.
Chicharito,
Chicharito.
Chicharito.
Can I do a prediction or a wish?
What's your wish?
They call up all the good players from LA too.
Ooh.
All right.
Preston
Okay.
Judd, yeah.
Let's get back to business. And it is the final bit of business
2
we've
to 1
got.
Galaxy.
The jersey. The signed jersey.
All right, who's gonna take it?
We did do That whole Twitter giveaway thing.
Yeah, we did do
I'm
it.
about to get a thing that makes a comical noise now
Let's go.
to do the draw.
We all know how much y'all like the
Right.
white shirts. So
If I lift this up closely enough to the mic, you might be able to hear the comical noise as I do the little spin.
Well, let it be known. We also have to check that you did everything.
PHNX ASMR. Oh, rigged. Edwin wins.
Yes.
It's actually gone to Reese 11.
Reese 11,
Reese.
congratulations.
Yeah.
We'll contact you.
We will be in touch, and presuming you're going to be there tomorrow, we might come and say hello.
Yeah, if you're at the game, let us know. We'll walk it over to you.
We'll give you a
And make sure you did everything that was said in the contest too.
That is true. That
Indeed.
is
Well,
true.
I'll have to. We'll just give it away. I'm just going to do one last double check.
Yeah,
Check
he's
he does
double
do it.
checking.
Let's just say that no cheaters around these parts. We like some clean.
He follows
content.
us. There's a good start.
That's good.
That's a
That's
good
number
start.
one.
Yep.
Now the giveaway, I'm sure I checked all of these before, so it should be correct. But I'm just making sure I didn't make a mistake. Why did you have to say that? Now I'm doubting myself.
What? No,
Edwin,
I'm
you're
just
screwing
making
up this
sure.
show, man. You need to bring it down a notch, all right?
Fine.
What's with your hat? You keep switching it
Oh
too.
my god!
Don't worry about that.
Hold on a minute. We got a retweet. Have we got a retweet? Have we got a retweet?
Yeah, he
Yes, we
retweeted
got a
us.
retweet.
Bim, 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 bim.
And he tagged people because that's how I got the list of people.
Nice,
So there we
nice.
go. Congratulations. We'll be finding you tomorrow, I'm sure.
Yes, sir. Congratulations on winning the signed Phoenix Rising jersey. And we'll
It's a
be
shame
doing.
it's in white, but
I
hey,
know.
it's what we've got.
Sorry, y'all. We'll be doing more of these in the future. We do have some other stuff to give away, so just keep in touch with our Twitter account. And again, PHNX __ Rising.
Double the underscores. Double the fun.
There we go. All right, y'all. So that wraps it up for Friday's show. It's to me, it was weird being in the office on a Friday because I don't think I've ever been here on a Friday, but it has been fun as always with everybody here. Owen, Edwin, and the rest of the crew that walked in to help us out. So that was great. So we will see you tomorrow. We're gonna have again a live post game show after the Rising's game against Galaxy 2.
And make sure to say hi to us when we're there. Unless you're a child who wants to high five Ramon.
Yeah, I don't do high five.
He makes kids cry. He makes
do a
kids
fist
cry.
bump. Yeah,
He makes them cry.
yeah. And hopefully there's a good crowd tomorrow. You know, after that
I think we
Wednesday
should.
game.
We should see a good crowd out
Should
there
be
tomorrow.
fun. All right, y'all. Until then, we will see you on Saturday tomorrow. Have a good night.